I feel the need for speed. No, I feel the need for hardship. No, it's not a masochistic kink. It's more of a rite of passage. Think about lifting weights. It's a hard time. It's a hard time to pick that weight and make your muscles hurt. But in the end, what happens? You grow stronger. That's what hardship, a lot of the times, well, in fact, all the time, does to people. That by going through hard things, you grow. You grow as a person. Kind of lets you know how some people just seem like they crumble at life, with anything in life. Many times we've seen those types of people who I call baby tyrants, those people who like to scream and rant and rave and stomp and scream. Does it scream? Yeah, because they do a lot of screaming to get their way. Whiny little maggots, basically. And they do it because, well, they are crumbling before a true life test. That's what they always do. And what's a life test? It's basically a life test is when life wants you to move up in level, wants you to leave mental limitations or bad habits or beliefs, leave them behind. Shed your skin like a snake. Just shed that old skin and evolve. Get to the next level, So, these life tests come around to get you to do that. But what if you don't want to take the test? Or what if you decide, well, I don't want to do that, or you decline the invitation to evolve? Well, you get something that is called a tower moment. And a tower moment is even worse, because this is the time when life says, oh, you don't want to change? Oh, okay, well, I'll make you change. Think about a person that it's ready to jump off the high dive and decides, you know what, I changed my mind. Well, life is going to be like that kid behind you who's going to go, nope, boom, you go, and pushes you so you can take the jump. Yeah, it's terrible, right? It almost feels mean, but in essence, it made you jump. And in the end, you feel pretty good. It's like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Sometimes our mind betrays us and makes it worse than it actually is. But that's what a tower moment is. It's a time in life where life itself pushes you to change, and a lot of the times it does feel or seem terrible. Like maybe you lose your job, or you find out that your girlfriend or boyfriend is cheating on you, or worse, your wife or husband, or you find out that, you're getting kicked out of the house and you're going to end up homeless, or somebody robs you, these are terrible things, right? At first glance, but essentially it makes you grow. It makes you change. It makes you evolve. So this is literally what happens a lot of the times, because sometimes it feels like God is this mean kid with a magnifying glass right on top of you, and you being the ant, and is just messing with you. And really, that's not it. But that's what happens when we don't know what's going on. Our mind just comes up with all these crazy scenarios. So you might be asking yourself, well, how can I avoid these things? Well, you can't, because again, like I mentioned, these things are necessary for your evolution, for your spiritual growth, so you can get to the next phase of life. Level up, like in a video game. In a video game, a level up usually comes after a big test, a big trial, a big, bad guy that you have to eliminate. So our problems sometimes they look like big giants, right? This is why these hero stories were written. and told to many people so they could learn these lessons, by being able to relate to these characters. You have Frodo from The Lord of the Rings. You have Luke Skywalker from Star Wars. You have Santiago from The Alchemist. These are all heroes journeys that are told so we're able to relate to them and maybe just model ourselves to them. Now that you know these things, that these are tests that you have to pass, and if not, they become tower moments. You may be asking yourself, well, okay, well, if I can't avoid them, how can I pass them? Well, they're gonna have to be done with a lot of courage, with a lot of perseverance and determination, with a big, valiant, and faithful heart, and fire in your belly. That's how all the other heroes did it, So now that you know these things, can you picture someone in human history who exemplifies these attributes? Courage, determination, perseverance, a valiant, faithful heart, and fire in the belly. Exactly. Jesus Christ. So now you see why he went through what he went through. It wasn't for you. It was for his evolution. And this way, hopefully, maybe we can model ourselves to him. But the way things were twisted around and made him look like, well, he's the son of God. He's got superpowers and whatnot, so I can't do what he does. But many times he did say, that whatever I can do, you can do better. You can do great. That's why he said, I am the way. He was saying, I am the way. Look at me. Just be like me. Not just follow me and, I'm your savior. No, you're going to save yourself by my example, basically. That's what he was saying. Again, this is why these stories were written, so we can model ourselves to these characters. But these attributes that they demonstrated that you have as well, these things are going to be your PICs, your fellowship, your, allies in these battles. So now that you know these things, can you picture someone who is the complete opposite? Someone in history who shows none of those qualities. Exactly. Donald J. Trump, the Orange Walrus. And anybody who follows them, because they admire him. In fact, he calls himself a hero, and they believe him. Why? Because they don't know what a true hero looks like or sounds like. So, he says he's a hero. Okay, so I guess he is. It's as simple as that. And they all behave in the same manner, so they're all a bunch of whiny little maggots too. Simple as that. Simpletons that really don't know any better. But at the same token, these types of people hold back humanity's evolution by their cowardice of life. So again, next time you see one of these baby tyrants, just scream and stomp and make a big deal to get their way, know exactly what's happening. It's because they don't know how to deal with life, with courage, with determination, with perseverance. They're whiny little maggots who crumble at the sight of a true test. This is why they do what they do. They pay somebody off, or they guilt someone, or force somebody into doing the work for them. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to be a hero and take life as it comes? Or are you going to be a whiny little maggot? Think about it and feel about it.